All right. What's going on, Gurvinder, Andrew? What's going on? Let's get right into it. Pretty good day today. I think we navigated it very, very well. As far as this whole week goes, we've been doing pretty well. We were a little early on my IWM puts yesterday, notably because yesterday we had that bounce to the cloud right about here. I entered, I got stopped out at the high of the day. I did re-enter some up here. The reason being, the reason behind that trade was I was talking about this rut for so much time here. I said 2030. You can go search it in the chat if you want. What's up, Gurvesh? Tonka, how you doing, brother? 2030, I gave that level a long time ago on rut, and we hit it yesterday. So I was pretty confident in my IWM puts. Another reason was the 4-hour candles yesterday on all these indexes. You see here the 4-hour candle from yesterday's close on IWM. I told you guys write this down because, you know, sometimes you have to write this kind of stuff down. 4-hour dojis on increased volume is a very strong indicator of a reversal. If there's not increased volume, usually it just means indecision, and that candle is worthless. It's useless for direction. So yesterday we had the 4-hour doji, we had the increased volume. It was very obvious to me a reversal was going to happen. We got that reversal overnight, as you guys see here. Those puts went over 250%, just about hit 300%, which was my final sell. I still do have a couple free ones. Don't really care about them. I mean, they're completely free. They can go to zero. It won't affect my trade in any way. And if we get a gap down tomorrow, I'll get 300% for them. So whatever. That's how I play my positions. I make them free, and then we see, XLF was sideways all day today. Really showing some strength. Even yesterday, you guys see how it was ripping up, and it didn't dump as much. Today, completely sideways. The day before, grinding up. The day before, grinding up. Financials are very, very strong here. If you guys look at individual stocks as well, GS has been completely sideways. You got JPM pretty much sideways for 4 days. You got WFC. A lot of these banks are just going sideways right now, holding, which is much stronger than the rest of the indexes. As you guys seen, IWM was a complete crater today, and so was QQQ. As you guys see here, we closed QQQ yesterday at 332.31, and we opened today at 329. So about $3 gap down on QQQ. And as Ricky said, as long as we're under 330, there is negative gamma buildup on QQQ, which means tech kind of needs a pullback. VIX did not pop as much as I thought it would, especially with the market gapping down like that. I thought we would have had a bigger pop on VIX, but we're still watching this little falling wedge here. I know a lot of people hate technical analysis on VIX. It works for me. I will continue to do it. And you guys see how strong this $20 support has been. We've been underneath, or 1962, sorry. We've been poking underneath, but then right back above, poking underneath, right back above. So it's kind of holding this within that wedge. And if we do see a wedge breakout, I think we go straight to 2267 areas on VIX. And that is the downside possible. SPY here, nothing really. SPX we'll talk about because we do have levels. I told you guys 4275. You can search in chat. Maybe 16, 17 times I mentioned 4275. These are my levels here, 4275, 4250, 4240. And if we start breaking all those, we have plenty of supports underneath now, as you guys see here, all the way down to 4100. And as long as we stay under 4300, I'm fairly confident that the market should go down. Let's see what happens here. Other than that, 4275 is the key level right now. We opened right around we dumped to 4275, and then we have 4250 almost tested to the dot, which was 4252. Went all the way up, tested 4300, little poke above, and then right back to 4275. So all in all, just a chop day if you look back at it, but there was plenty of trades that crushed it today. Let's go to bonds. Bonds are holding up as well. As you guys see here, the daily, that white line that I have drawn there is the 50-day moving average. We are still breaking down out of that bear flag. Sometimes you're not going to get stocks and bonds to go straight down after a break, right? So right now what it's doing is it's broken out of the bear flag and it's forming another bear flag here. We have the 50-day moving average, which is at 153.22, which is where that white line is for me, so it's easier for me to watch if I'm watching on a different time frame. And as you guys see here, it's really struggling with that level, staying underneath. As we can start seeing 152 break, then that confirms the bear flag breakdown to the downside. What's up, 1010? How you doing? What's up, Guggen? I appreciate the words, 1010. Let me know if you have any suggestions, anything you want to add, anything. Thank you. TNX yields were flying today. Obviously, we've been gapping up a lot. We go on the daily here. We got the 50-day moving average, which is up top. If we get over that 50-day moving average, which is at 296, we can go right back to test highs. And as you guys know, the higher yields go, the weaker tech stocks are. Bitcoin is a big worry here for crypto holders. I mean, I'm not holding any, but we had about a 15-day range on Bitcoin between 23,950 down to 22,580. So basically we're stuck in a range. We got this breakout, false breakout, because we came right back below. That's usually a very bearish thing. Also, we have this little wedge coming here, which is also a bear flag, and we just broke it today. So if this candle today that closes in 3 hours and 53 minutes closes below 23,600, that's a confirmation on bear flag breaking down on Bitcoin. And you will probably see much of the same action as you did on UB's bear flag break here. We broke it, big red day with volume increased, and then we just chopped around so far, and now we want to watch for continuation under 152. You're probably going to see the same kind of thing here out of Bitcoin. What I mean is, this is the bear flag break, probably going to chop around here for a little bit, and then finally we go down around 220k again on Bitcoin. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin at all right now. I am bearish on the market, as you guys know. There might be some shenanigans tomorrow and Friday because of August OPEX, as market makers try to balance their books and try to figure out all these open options that are expiring that day. Other than that, I'm very bearish going into September and October. As you guys know, I do think new lows are coming. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me, I don't care. I read a lot, I do a lot of research, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm very bearish into October. And no one will change my mind. Except the Fed, unless they pivot. Netflix here. This was a trade of the week coming into this week on Sunday. The reason being we have this massive gap on the daily. Which gap am I talking about? 248.70 was putting us inside that gap. We got inside that gap for 1 day, and then we rejected. So as you guys know, when I have a big level, which is 248.70, we have a huge gap to fill all the way to 339. We got into that gap and then rejected it the next day. That's very bearish in my eyes. Anytime we reclaim the 200-day, next day we come back below, it's very bearish. Any major level, we reclaim it, come back below the next day, very bearish. So that's how I play it. And here's Netflix. I did take some puts today. The reason being, we also have a gap all the way down to 232. I took 230 puts on Netflix for next week, as you guys know. That gap starts at 236, so I think it's a clear, easy short, especially if the market shows weakness. We closed 241.06. We closed today just on the 8-day moving average, so let's see if we can get some follow through tomorrow. We do have a gap above and below now, so let's see what happens, which one it wants to fill first, and which direction it goes. BBIG, these little shit, or wait, I'll go into Netflix a little bit more here. So I did take it, it's not just based on that 8 and the gaps. Here's the hourly with the cloud. As you guys see in here, I have these fibs drawn from my breakout. Remember we hit calls on Netflix twice on Monday, already paid us. Now I'm switching to puts, the reason being the cloud flipped on the hourly to the bearish side. You guys see this red line, that means the cloud is now bearish. We got that bounce into the cloud and I shorted right here. So 230 puts for next week, and let's see if we get that follow through. I do expect it to come and test these lows at least at 237-ish. And by that point, those puts will probably be $3.50, $3.40, something like that. So let's see if we get follow through tomorrow. BBIG, I did call this one out. It's been halted for a week, guys. It opened yesterday. There's high short interest. There's a lot of chatter about this name, and it could get really squeezy. I still have a little bit. I bought at 85 cents. I did sell some at $1.50 today. Other than that, I'm just holding on, seeing what happens. It's not going to hurt me either way, whichever way it goes. If it does go up, I'll have a piece of it. I won't have FOMO. But as you guys know, we've crushed so many of these. FRZA was a good one, even though the chart looks disgusting. I made like $3 a share on this one. VEE, I think I made like $2 a share on this one as well. You guys see this big. These little shit stocks are just flying these days. Megal was one that I missed, unfortunately. But I know a lot of people that caught it. Sean has been killing these plays as well. As you guys see here, equity 116% in a day. What else can you ask for, right? Other than that, Apple, I know a lot of people are short. I did not take Apple short. In the past, I've just noticed Apple doesn't pay me as well as other shorts. It moves very slowly. And if Apple comes down, everything is going to come down. And the stuff that pays better, probably better risk to reward for me personally. I know it's very liquid, so if you're going very large inputs, Apple, AMD, SPY, QQQ, IWM are probably your favorites. But if Apple comes down to, let's say, a lot of people are buying 170, 250 puts or 170 puts. If Apple comes down 5 points here, how much do you think Netflix is going to come down? How much do you think Tesla is going to come down? How much do you think the chips are going to come down, which we'll go over after? That's the only reason I did not join. I know half of MSL is already short Apple, but I'm going to play it different ways this time. I have a long-term watch list that I'm watching for October puts, as you guys know, at MSL. I'm not going to share it here, but you guys know what I'm watching. AMD here. Chips are going to get destroyed. If the market comes down, there's so much bad news about chips. First of all, they're cyclical. Second of all, Nvidia's earnings were awful. MU said they have negative cash flow. In this environment, the only thing that matters to a company is free cash flow. If a company does not have cash flow, they're going to get destroyed on this next little pullback that we get here. So AMD, Nvidia, MU, TSM, LRCX, ASML, all on watch for puts for me. And AMD, these ones are cheap as well, guys. I'm looking at October puts for TSM, October puts for AMD. And if you guys scroll out a little bit, check out some of these charts. They are ugly. Where is this? Was it TSM? Not TSM, it was MU monthly. So you guys see how we're for like this very, very clear support line here. We tried to take it out last month. We got back above. If we take out this little trend line here on the monthly, on MU, there's big downside. I see all the way down to here, like 30 bucks for MU. I might sound crazy today, but talk to me again in October. TSM, same kind of thing, just an ugly, ugly topping pattern there. Which other one was there? I was looking at another one. Marvell is actually one of my favorites. So this is a Marvell monthly chart here. As you guys see here, very clear neckline. And we formed the shoulder, we formed the head. And now we're kind of forming the other shoulder here. So by October, if we start seeing these trend lines breaking, we're going to see a lot of downside on these chips. I love downside on chips. They pay very, very well if we hit them at the right time. Microsoft, I don't even know why I have the chart open. Don't really care about it. Same kind of story on Tesla as well. As we were looking through the Tesla options for October, they're just crazy IV. But if you guys look at the monthly chart here, there is a lot of downside. I know Elon's amazing. I love Elon as well. But the thing is, who's going to buy a $100,000 electric vehicle in a recession? If stuff really does start getting bad, which the Fed really seems to talk about, I don't think inflation's going anywhere. What the hell is happening? So basically, if we do go into a hardcore recession, which I think may be possible, I don't think inflation is going anywhere. It's supply side, it's not demand side. The more they crush demand side, it's going to cause a recession. The more people spend less, which is exactly what they're doing, is killing demand. If they spend less, all these companies are going to get less money. You see all these earnings that people are beating, like we're posting beats on these earnings. These earnings have already factored in that we're going to go into a slowdown. So basically, let's say Tesla was going to make $1 billion last month, right? Now earnings estimates came down and they said Tesla's making 750 mil this quarter. Now if they make 760 mil on the page that everyone sees on the earnings, they're going to say, oh, they beat earnings. The estimate was 750 and they made 760. The real story is they already cut their earnings by 25% estimates. And now that stuff is going to start to spill over. And interest rates, like Ricky said, he was confused about what something about interest rates. Basically, these things that the Fed is doing take time to come into the system. It's not like today they say interest rates are going up and tomorrow they affect the system. No, they take months, they take weeks and months to start affecting the system. And once stuff starts breaking, that's when you're going to start seeing it. One thing you do have to keep an eye on is junk bonds, which is HYG. This is a crucial chart. And as you guys see here, I just opened up the monthly just for fun. This is COVID. Look what it did. You guys know what happened to the indexes during COVID. This is 2018 or 16, sorry, when they started raising interest rates was right here in 18. You see the big dump. So these are junk credit bonds. And keep an eye on these. Look at 2008. This is where it got really ugly. And I do expect it to go and test those levels this year if the Fed keeps raising rates. Nvidia, same thing as AMD. I mean, I don't need to go over all the chips. It's the same story for all the chips. They're all cyclical. They're all, missing earnings. AMD was pretty solid, but it's going to go down with the boat. If the rest of the semis are weak, AMD's going down too. One put I really like is this UNP? I've been doing a lot of reading on this. Make sure you guys go read about railroads. There is a couple of big red flags going on in railroads right now. They don't have enough staff. They have some material that they need to build railroads. Those aren't going to work. They can't get them from Ukraine or something. And we're chilling right around the 200-day moving average, which is at 237.54. I'm waiting for my put swings till Friday. I want to get this OPEX nonsense out of the way, and then I'm going to decide how many puts I want to open Friday and how big I want to open them on Friday. Other than that, I hope you guys had a good day. Whether you're bull, whether you're bear, just keep your bias away. Just obviously, I'm bearish for the long term. Doesn't mean I jumped into my whole account puts today, right? Playing it day by day, but I really do think there's going to be a bloodbath September, October.